in the second and third row. Good morning and welcome to the Spiritual Memorial Service. Today we gather in remembrance and gratitude. On June 1st, 1943, after a lifetime devoted to teaching and spreading the Dharma, our founding teacher, Master Sotaesan, entered Nirvana. Truth is one, and paths are many. In commemorating Master Sotaesan's Memorial Day, we pay homage to all Buddhas, saints, and sages throughout time. We also take this moment to honor and remember our own departed loved ones, family, friends, mentors, and all who have touched our lives with their presence. Our longtime Dharma friend, Guy Nuri, passed away last Friday. Today's service is also a gesture of honoring his life and supporting his peaceful transition. Now we'll begin our gathering with the period of seated meditation. Please take a comfortable and upright posture. Straighten your back, your neck, and head. Now align your ears with your shoulders and align your nose with your navel. Relax your whole body. Soften your forehead. You may smile upon your forehead. And breathe slowly and gently. Meditation is the conscious practice of mindfulness and presence. And as you sit in silence, release your thoughts and bring your attention to your breath. Let your breathing guide the natural flow of qi energy throughout your body. Breathe in deeply, breathe out fully. And as you consciously, mindfully breathe, allow your mind to settle, centered, and calm. We'll sit together in meditation for 15 minutes with Ellen's Indian flute. I invite you now to gently stretch your legs, massage your knees. We'll transition into a time of chanting while standing. The chant we'll offer is titled A Call to Reverence. It'll be led first in Korean by Reverend Yeri, followed by an English reading by Reverend Ji Eun. As we enter into this practice, please bring your palms together and center your mind in stillness and devotion. At the end of each line, we'll all perform a standing bow together. Now please all rise. Palms together.
봉청 일원 대도 대각하사 일원 대업 창건하신 원각 성존 대종사 소태산열애위
We pay homage to Buddha, the great master Sotaesan of supreme enlightenment, for discovery of inner freedom and the dissemination of Buddha Dharma.
일원 대도 계승하사 일원 대업 운전하신 전불 심종 법륜 상전 종사위
We honor all sages and saints as you proclaimed the eminent value of spiritual cultivation and universal salvation in the spirit of the common origin of all faiths.
일원 대도 봉찬하고 일원 대업 호위하신 광행불사 화피 대중 대봉도위 대호법위
We pay homage to all enlightened masters and bodhisattvas who led the highest exemplary life of loving kindness and compassion.
일원 대도 봉찬하고 일원 대업 전무하신 공헌 불사 무아봉공 전무 출신 각 등위
We honor dedicated ministers as you cultivated Buddha Dharma in all of us and have championed perseverance, commitment, and selfless service.
일원 대도 신봉하고 일원 대업 협찬하신 협찬불사 호법 봉공 거진 출진 각 등위 일원대도 발원하고 이 회상에 동참하신 보통 출가 교도위 보통 제가 교도위
We honor dedicated laity as you support and protected Buddha Dharma.
성위 자녀 생육하사 이 대업에 희사하신 계생성자 원호 대업 희사각위 등내 교도 생육하고 동참 교도 근원이신 주원 감모 역대 조상 일반 부모 선조위
We respect parents and ancestors as you have given birth to, educated, and nurture the enlightening seed.
대도 대덕 증득하사 재생의세 선창하신 동원도리 원통만법 선성각위 이 대제의 인연으로 이 대도에 회항하실 동기연계 육도 사생 일체 생명위
We embrace all sentient beings and encourage you to understand Buddha Dharma and enter the path of awakening.
저희 모두 일심으로 삼가 봉청하옵나니 이 도량에 조감하사 이 미성에 응하소서.
We offer this invocation with pure mind and body. May all spirits of the Buddhas, parents, and teachers watch over our sincere prayer and respond to us.
Now, together as community, we'll offer Spiritual Memorial Day prayer led by Reverend Chi Eun. Please remain standing.
Spiritual Memorial Day prayer. May the grace of heaven and earth watch over us. May the grace of parents and ancestors nurture us. May the grace of all living beings embrace us. May the grace of Dharma guide us. Dharmakaya Buddha Fourfold Grace. On June 1st, 2025, with pure spirits and concentrated minds, the priests and lay practitioners of the One Dharma Center Temple are offering this spiritual memorial service. Our founding teacher, Venerable Sotaesan, entered Nirvana on June 1st, 1943, and we commemorate him as well as our spiritual ancestors who enabled and empowered us to become who we now are. There are 24,372 ordained and lay spiritual ancestors who are the foundation of the One Buddhist community through their exemplary practice and Dharma work. We honor and give thanks to these spiritual ancestors, which include our founding master Sotaesan, enlightened masters, great upholders and protectors of Dharma, devoted ministers, dedicated laity, and parents of sages and saints. Our teachers and Dharma ancestors have passed away, yet their spirits and guidance remain clear and bright. Without them, we would be lost, not realizing the great way to liberation. We pay homage to all our teachers and aspire to follow their Dharma path. We remember our loved ones who are now departed, but who were important in shaping our lives with support and love. With full hearts, we invoke their names.
Guy Nori, Mitchell Hussein, Bruce Superman Wilson, Jackie Brown, Joy O'Donovan, Barbara Cowley, Vento Do Su, Tracho Belopopsky, Cleo Vidigain, Matthew Wolfe, Ramon Baez, Isabel Baez, Ramona Francisco, Juan Francisco, Patricia Francisco, David Hernandez, David Logan Lyons, Gordon Roam Logan, William Edward Logan, Barbara Crowley Logan, Svetlana Tryanovskaya, Victor Tryanovsky, Boris Keller, Olga Plyap-Tisiv, Barbara Stroh, John Bobla, Pat and Rick Stroh, Michelle Monarch, Doris Walker, Dora Haidu, Timothy Heiler, Matthew Wolfe, Keelan McNeil, Hannah Peabody, Melissa Dow, Alfred and Gloria Rowland, Deb Nolan, Charles Hadcock, Lois Hadcock, Betty, Dan, Emmett, and Kevin Hodgkins, Margaret, Larry, Clacker Cunningham, Richard Sullivan, Thomas and Marge Scanlon, Margaret Orpin, Adele Cohen, Philip Cohen, Joy Sanchez, Andrew Stolman, Mike Chupnik, Archie and Catherine Cecina, Dolores Catalic, Letitia Hussein, Michael Hussein, Barb Irwin, Olga Mancini, Brad and Helen Neefy, and Thomas Neefy.
Dharma Kayabura Fourfold Grace. The physical forms of the deceased have been dispersed into dust, wind, fire, and water, and have become one with nature. If there are any lingering confusions or delusions that hinder their spirits, may they be free from all obstacles, be completely emancipated, and rest in true nirvana. Please bestow upon the living and the deceased the light and power of Dharma, so we can abide with the right view of life and death. May this memorial service open and strengthen our love and gratitude for all. Wholeheartedly, we pray.
We'll offer 2 bows together. Now please be seated. Sutra chanting meditation continues. Pages 7 and 4. Today we'll chant Ilwon Sang vow in Korean first, followed by in English. Pages 7 and 4.
일원상 서원문 일원은 언어도 단의 입적 천지부모동포 법률의 본원이요 제불조사 법무중생 성품으로 능히 성유상하고 능히 성무상하이 유상으로 보면 상주불멸로 여여자연하여 무량세계를 전개하여 무상으로 보면 우주의 성주괴공과 만물의 생로병사와 사색 심신작용을 따라 육도로 변화를 시켜 혹은 진급으로 혹은 강급으로 혹은 생어해로 혹은 해생어은을 이와 같이 무량세계를 전개하였나니 우리 어리석은 중생은 법신불일원상을 제받아 심신을 원만하게 수호하는 공부를 하며 또는 사리를 원만하게 아는 공부를 하며 또는 심시를 원만하게 사용하는 공부를 지성으로 하여 진급이 되고 은혜는 입을지언정 강급이 되고 해독은 입지 아니하기로써 일원의 위력을 얻도록까지 서원하고 일원의 재성에 합하도록까지 서원함.
일원상가 일원 is a realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and that transcend being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and laws, the true nature of Buddha's enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings, and one manifests as both permanent and impermanent, viewed as permanent, and one unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is viewed as impermanence, and one unfolds into infinite birth through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the four forms of birth we transform through the 6 rounds of existence, progressing or regressing, grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice soratedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Sangha Dharmakaya Buddha by cultivating our minds and bodies, deeply knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly and
attain the great empowerment of everyone and become one with the nature of everyone.
Now let us take a few moments to stretch our body. So you may extend your arms to your side. Bring your arms up high, fingers together. Stretch up and stretch side to side. And release your hands down, shoulders up. And roll your shoulders. Move around your neck and your head. Gently stretch your spine. And let us bring our palms together once again. This morning, Venerable Chuksan-nim, the head Dharma master of One Buddhism USA, will give us a Dharma talk, and Reverend Yu will assist in translating his words. Palms together, let us greet both of them. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
오늘은 대단히 의미 있는 날이라고요.
Today is very meaningful, auspicious day.
불교를 창건하신 소태단 대종사께서 열반하신 날이라고.
June 1st, this is the very day the founding teacher of One Buddhism Sotaesan passed.
열반한 날을 맞이해서 모든 우리 선성, 선영, 열이, 선조들을 모시고 오늘 합동 제사를 지내는 날이라.
Along with our founding master, we memorialize and pay respect and offer prayer, officially show our gratitude, all saints and sages, as well as our parents and ancestors who passed away.
때문에 오늘 여기에 올린 모든 선조들, 선영 열이들이 오늘 이 인연을 계기로 해서 불연이 깊어지고
By our prayer and this ceremony, we sincerely hope and pray all our ancestors and parents, our loved ones, will strengthen their karmic bond with the Sotaesan and our Buddhas and teachers,
법연이 깊어지고
deepening our dharma affinity or karmic tie.
세세생생 거래간에 성불재중하는 큰 성자들이 되길 간절히 염원을
So that we as well as all our parents, ancestors will eventually attain great enlightenment to shine this troublesome world.
그래서 오늘을 기해서 더불어서 대종사님에 대해서 팔산 김광선 그 선지님께서 대종사님을 흠모하셨던 세 가지에 대해서 오늘은 조금 이야기를 해드리고 싶다.
Today is the day our founding teacher passed away. So today I would like to say a little bit of our founding master's story, especially focusing on founding master's disciple, Palsan-님, in which area he admired his teacher and modeled after.
팔사님께서는 대종사님과 인연이 지충한 분이시다고.
Palsan-님 was very close, have a very deep karmic tie with our founding master.
대종사님 대가가기 이전부터 대종사님을 이렇게 의형제 같이 모셨다고.
Parsanim was born and raised in the same town like Yongsan, like Sotaesan, and they were like Dharma brothers. Even our founding master attained great enlightenment.
대종사님께서 대가하기 전에 일체 가정사라는가 주의를 돌보지 않으셨다.
Particularly the household situation, our founding master, in order to search for the universal truth, our founding master didn't care about the household manners, especially financially.
그런 부분을 대종사님께서 옆에서 도와주셨다.
So in that area, Parsanim helped Sotaesan,
그런데 여기서
bodily as well as financially.
여기서 중요한 것은 대종사님보다 팔사님이 12살이 위시라고.
Parsanim was 12 years older than our founding master,
그런데도 대종사님을 그렇게 의형제같이 잘 살펴주셨다.
but he considered Sotaesan as a Dharma teacher as well as a Dharma brother in that hierarchic Confucian society.
그래서 대종사님이 대각을 이루시고 나서 최초의 제자가 되셨다.
So after our founding master attained the great enlightenment, Parsanim became the first disciple of Sotaesan.
대각이 전에는 의형제였는데 대각하고 나서 스승으로 받들게 됐다고.
Before our founding masters achieving great realization, they were like Dharma brothers, but after he attained the great enlightenment, Parsanim changed his thought. He's my teacher.
그래서 대종사님 대각하신 후 한 20년간을 대종사님을 이렇게 받들고 모셨다고.
Sotaesan as a teacher, Parsanim venerated and helped Sotaesan for the next 20 years.
근데 이 팔사님이 그 모시던 가운데 대종사님을 흠모하고 존경하고 닮고 싶은 세 가지를 이야기하셨다. 실시품.
Parsanim, when you read our scripture, especially would like to model after Sotaesan in these three aspects. In these three aspects, Parsanim especially venerated Sotaesan.
첫 번째가 순일무사하신 공심이라고 그러셨다고. 순수해가지고 사가 없어요. 개인적인 사가 없는 오로지 공심으로 일관하셨다.
He said, our founding master's mind is with a pure and unselfish, utterly unselfish public spirit. His mind is just like a public spirit.
초창기 회상을 창립하는 시기였기 때문에 대종사님이 가장 강조하신 말씀 중에 하나가 공심이었다고.
When our founding master of the One Buddhism order, especially in the beginning stage, Sotaesan really emphasized for his students public spirit, the kind of mind to help others.
그래서 소태산 제종사에서 교법을 제종할 때 교법의 결론격으로 무아 봉공으로 말씀해 주셨다.
So our founding master created his new Dharma, modernized the tradition of Buddhism. One of the conclusions of his doctrine is selfless service for the public. That's the core teaching of One Buddhism.
그리고 일상수행요법 마지막 구조에 공익심 없는 사람은 공익심 있는 사람으로 결론같이 말씀을 해주셨다.
So when you read the essential dharmas of daily practice on page 9, when you read the last article, it says, let us turn yeah, you can read that on page 9. Our selfish mind into public experience. That sounds like that.
선세는 불교에서는
That's the conclusion of the.
견성하고 성불하는데 오롯이 다 바쳤다고.
Think about the traditional Buddhism. What's their direction? Attaining great enlightenment is their focus. Why they practice.
그래서 그때 불교가 많이 산중으로 이렇게 들어가서 수도하는 데 집중을 했다.
So why in older days many Buddhist monks retreat themselves in the deep mountain for the self-realization.
근데 소태산 대종사께서는 우리가 깨치고 이렇게 공부하는 것도 중요하지만 반드시 깨친 만큼 사유에 유익을 주고 공익에 헌신할 수 있도록 말씀해 주셨다.
Sotaesan agreed those direction or approach. But it also emphasizes why do we practice? Why do we search for great enlightenment? It's eventually to give the benefit in a very practical way to this society.
반드시 대종사님께 말씀하신 끝부분은 개인, 가정, 사회, 국가에 유익을 주는 사람이 되자고 그렇게 표현을 하셨다.
He emphasized in our Won Buddhism canon, you practitioners should give a benefit to yourself, to your home, to your society, as well as to your nation. Yeah.
우리가 명상을 하는 것은 뭐 때문에 그러냐면 자신이 행복하기 위해서 명상을 하는 거라.
So we can start to practice sitting meditation for the happiness of our life. That's true.
그와 반면에 명상을 해서 또 한 가지는 무엇이냐면 선한 영향력이 미쳐갈 수 있도록 해야 되는 거예요.
But when we practice, our centered, peaceful energy will spread to the other people, to this society. It affects other people.
그래야 나도 좋고 세상도 점점적으로 좋아지는 거라.
It will become beneficial to ourselves as well as to this world when we practice.
그럴 진리를 깨달으면 그렇게 할 수밖에 없는 거라고.
If we are awakened, we have no choice to live that type of a life.
진리를 깨닫는 사람을 딱 두 가지로 표현할 수가 있다.
So universal truth or the life of awakened people, their life can be characterized by these two things.
대공심, 빌공자 공심.
Their 대공심, their empty mind, empty and clear mind. It's the saints and the sages' mind.
공심의 공자 대공심.
And 대공심 is the same pronunciation, but the mind of a public spirit.
빌공자 대공심 되면 공변될 자 공심이 나오지 않을 수 없다.
If your mind is empty and clear, you naturally become very public spirited person helping others.
그래서 마음이 깨친 만큼 세상을 위해서 우리가 공심이 나오게
As much as they are awakened, as much they can help or give a benefit to this world.
그래서 빌공자 공적 도가생하고
If
도심생하고
your mind is united with the empty nature of your nature, then
공변될 자 공즉 덕이 생한다고. 덕.
then virtuous action will naturally follow.
그래서 대종사님께서 공심을 그렇게 많이 강조해 주셨다.
That's why our founding master really emphasized not just the empty and the clear mind, he really stressed on the public spirit for all practitioners.
초기에 그때 교단이 어려운 때 아타원 그 전판근 선진님을 미국으로 유학을 최초로 보내셨다.
Think about that. In the early stage of Won Buddhism was very hard financially, and Korea was under Japanese colonialism. But despite that hardships, he sent Atawanim to USA to study Western things.
근데 그 아타원이 그 중고등학교 때 익산에서 서울 경기역으로 진학을 하게 됐다고. 서울.
So Atamnim was born with a very good brain. He went to the best high school, lived in Seoul. Her background was.
그때 익산에서 경기역으로 들어가는 건 대단한 거였다고.
That Gyeonggi Girls High is very competitive. It's very hard to enter, especially in Iksan. Iksan, where the Korean headquarters is located, that's located in the rural area.
그래서 성적이 잘 나왔다고.
So Atamnim was very happy. She has a very good SAT. Yeah? She was
본인은 그래서 정말로 자랑하고 싶어요. 대종사님께 성적표를 가지고 이렇게 성적이 잘 나왔다고.
So she was very proud of herself. She showed that report to our founding master.
굉장히 칭찬을 줄 알았는데 딱 쳐서 그러냐 하고.
She expected Sotaesan would highly praise her great academic achievement, but our founding master did not say any praising word.
마음에 내심 서운했다.
So she was very much disappointed.
근데 그 뒤에 어쩌다가 공동으로 운영하는 딸기 밭이 있었다고.
But at that time, founding masters did some public cooperative labor altogether, community work.
어쩌다가 어른들이 뽑는 그 딸기밭에 가서 풀을 뽑게 되었다고. 잡초를.
One day, 아타원님 passed by that field and helped to weed the field.
대종사님께서 그걸 보시고 그 공중 밭에 가서 풀을 뽑았다고 아타원을 얼마나 칭찬해 주는.
But our founding master after that so highly praised 팔타님 because she helped the public, cooperated. Our founding master praised her public spirit.
그리고 그 당시 식당에서 헛된 일을 하는 가문이 있었다고요.
At that time, there was several our founding masters students who worked behind the scene in the kitchen.
그때가 일정 시대이기 때문에 일본 사람이 와서 총독을 하겠다. 말하자면 대통령과 같이 우리나라를 다스리게 됐다고.
So there was a ruler of there was some Japanese authorities, kind of Japanese pseudo government. The head of the government was called 총독, kind of a governor in Korea.
그 식당에서 하는 전무 출신 그 가문 일을 하는 사람을 늘 자주 이야기를 하셨다고 그래요. 일본 그 나라를 다른 총독하고도 안 바꾼다고 그렇게
So
표현했어요.
our founding master mentioned in the praise, especially those several students who worked, sacrificed themselves behind the scene in the kitchen, and he often said, I will not exchange that for those Japanese governor who was all powerful at that time in Korea.
이 상의 초창기에 와서 이르는 그것을 그렇게 소중히 여기셨다고.
Especially in the early stage of Won Buddhism, especially for the person who's working behind the scene with a great public spirit, he really praised.
공심이라는 건 나 개인을 위해서가 아니라 대중을 위해서 일하고 대중을 위해서 헌신하는 거라.
So think about your practice. Your practice can be for yourself, but our practice should be for the other people in terms of its direction or ultimate consequence.
옛날에 어떤 마을에 비가 와가지고 홍수가 막 치게 돼 있다.
In older days, in some Korean rural town, there was a heavy rain and the whole town became flooded.
모든 사람이 다 자기 논밭으로 쫓아갔다고.
Every farmers in the town just rushed to their field.
근데 한 사람은 저수지로 쫓아갔다.
But one person rushed to the reservoir.
저수지가 모자는 모든 농사는 다
Think about that the dam of the reservoir is broken, all the towns will become completely flooded.
그것이 공심이라고 표현해요.
That's the public spirit.
대종사님께 공심을 그렇게 주장하셨어요.
That's why our founding master really emphasized the public spirit.
우리가 이 점을 오늘 깊이 마음에 새겨야 될 것 같다.
So think about, keep these things in mind related with your practice or the direction of your life.
우리가 원불교 법명을 받는 것은 개인의 사사 이름은 세속의 이름은 이미 죽었다고 그렇게 표현하셨다.
When our founding master bestowed our Dharma name, he usually said, your personal name has already died.
법명을
But
주는
you
것은
will become resurrected with a universal name or Dharma name.
세계의 공명이라고 그렇게 표현하셨다고요.
It's the universal name for the whole world. Our Dharma name is the
공을
meaning of
위해서 일하라는 뜻이 들어있다고.
So receiving Dharma word implies we should work for the benefit of other people.
우리 삶 속에서 나를 위해서도 살지만은 다른 사람을 위해서, 이웃을 위해서, 공적인 이 회상을 위해서 일하는 사람이 일하는 삶을 조금씩 확대해 나가야 돼.
So gradually, whether it's our daily affairs, daily routines, as well as our practice, it should be expanded for the benefit of ourselves, for the benefit of others, eventually for the benefit of this order as well as for the whole world.
두 번째는 시종일관하신 성이 정성심이 있으셨다.
The second aspect our founding master, our Parsani, would like to model after was his consistent sincerity and dedication.
발사님께서 대종사를 모시는 동안 초기에부터 20년 동안 모시는 한결같이 그 정성이 더 있으면 되지 줄어들지 않으셨다.
Parsanim served our founding master for 20 years.
그래서
But he's alive. When he saw our his teacher's life, his life was just characterized by pure sincerity and commitment.
그래서 대종사님께서 만사 성공 원리인으로서 신문의 성을 밝혀주셨는데 성이 결론적으로 그렇게 말씀해 주셨다.
As we already know, 4 articles to progress, to motivate our practice. 4 articles, faith, zeal, questioning, mind, and dedication. Dedication is the conclusion of the 4 articles.
공자님은 성자 천지도요. 정성이라는 건 천지도요.
Dedication, sincerity is the way of the heavens. It's the words of the Confucius.
성지자 인지도가 아니라 정성스럽고 하려고 하는 사람은 사람은 도다.
Accomplishing that sincerity or commitment is the way of the humans.
그 정성이 지극하게 가면 성인이 되어오르는 성인은 천지와 같이 정성이 한결같이 일관하는 사람이라고 그렇게 표현해 주셨다.
If your mind reach ultimately to the apex of sincerity and commitment, you will become united with heaven and earth.
에디슨이 전구 하나를 만들기 위해서 2000번을 실패하고 전구를 만들었다.
As we know, the inventor Edison, in order to successfully invent the electric bulb, he tried and failed 2,000 times, changing different gas inside the bulb.
에디슨은 그렇게 이야기했다고 그래요. 나는 2000번 실패한 것이 아니라 2000번 그 성공하기 위한 과정이었다고 그렇게 표현했다.
Edison once told, I don't think I failed 2,000 times.
그러면서 사람들이
I passed through 2,000 trial and error to achieve success.
그러면서 사람들이 이 에디슨에게 성공의 당신의 비결이 무엇입니까? 물었어요.
When Edison said that, what is your secret of that great success? He invented many things.
에디슨이 대답해서 나는 1%의 영감을 가지고 있다.
I have 1% inspiration
근데
for the success.
그 1%의 영감을 99%의 노력을 통해서 1%의 영감을 현실화시켰다. 그렇게
But
표현했다고.
with the 99 perspiration or sweat, I made that 1% thing become very successful.
중요한 의미가 들어있다.
So think about
우리는
This world.
20%, 30%, 50%의 영감을 가지고도 성공시키지 못하는 일이
many people, even though they have a great intuition of inspiration, like 20%, 30%, 50%, because they don't have a great commitment, they cannot accomplish many things.
우리는 모든 일을 정성심으로써 해나가야 된다.
In every areas, whether it's your some secular things or practice, think about that sincerity or
세
dedication to
번째는
make.
청탁을 병용하시는 포용력이셨다.
The third thing our Parsanim really admired for Sotaesan is his embracing mind, his generosity to embrace the good and bad, the pure and the solid.
그러면서 대종사님께 차중에 말씀하셨다고요. 잘하는 사람을 누가 잘못 보느냐? 잘못하는 사람을 잘 보는 것이 대자대비다.
Everybody can like the person who loves you, who helps you. But what is the practitioner's great compassion? It is to take care of the hateful person.
천지는 청탁을 포용한다고.
Think about the heaven and earth. It is beyond the pure, beyond the tainted.
바다도 청탁을 보여.
It embraces everything, good or bad. The ocean, the mountain, and the so on.
그래서 정진을 해서 명상을 해서 깨달음의 단계에 깊은 큰 성인의 단계에 오는 성인은 청탁을 포용하신다.
When you go very deep in meditation, when your mind and heart becomes like that of the saint and the sages, your mind will embrace all kind of purity as well as all kind of something
옛날에
tainted.
중국에 초장왕이란 초장왕이 있었다.
In old days in China, there was one king in a small kingdom, Chojang.
초장왕이 신하들과 그 장군들을 위해서 연회를 베풀었다고.
One day he held very lavish banquet for his army generals and high-ranking government officials.
근데 그 연회에 춤추는 무희들도 여자 무희들도 함께했다.
There were a lot of dancers, female dancers at the time.
근데 그 순간에 어디서 바람이 휙 불어와가지고 불이 딱 꺼져버렸다.
The banquet was held outdoor. All of them, there was a very strong wind arising, and all the candles were blown out. Every place was
그
very
순간
hot.
한 장군이 옆에 있는 무희를 그냥 엄격길에 희롱하게 됐다.
So one army general, he was a drunken and touched in a very improperly one pretty dancer.
근데 그 무희가 그 장군의 그 갓끈 끈을 탁 잡아서 끊었다고.
The dancer was very smart. He took out the string of his hat, the noble person wear.
그래서 왕이 시어 나를 이렇게 어떤 그 신하가 시롱을 했으니 내가 갓끈을 끊었으니 불을 켜고 그 사람을 벌을 주라고 청원을 했다.
That smart dancer was very furious, and he asked to the king, "I have this proof. Please, when the light is on, please punish that army general."
근데 왕이 한마디를 던졌다. 여기에 있는 모든 신하와 장군들은 모두 갓끈을 끊거라.
But the king said, "All the people here, army generals and civil servants here, cut off that string on your hat, so that nobody can recognize that
그리고 나서
person."
불이 켜졌다고.
And the light was on later.
근데 왕이 한 번은 전장터에서 죽을 고비에 당하게 됐다.
One day, the king, who were engaged in a very fierce battle, and he was at the brink of death, being chased by the enemy soldiers.
한 장수가 생명을 걸고 왕을
But one army general suddenly appeared and sacrificed himself to save the king.
왕이 그대는 누구인가?
So later, the king asked, "Who are you?"
그 장군이 그때 연회 때 갓끈을 끊어서 저를 그렇게 포용 마음으로 크게 안아준 그
That
장수가
army general was that person who touched that dancer in a very appropriate, was forgiven by the king.
우리가 살아가는 데서 잘하는 사람도 잘 봐주는 것도 중요하지만 서령 잘못한다 할지라도 포용하는 큰 포용심.
So as we live in this society, it is important to love and help our loved ones. It is more important to forgive and help hateful persons.
조금 말이 길어지긴 했지만은 첫째 순일무사하신 공심.
So in conclusion, the pure public, consistent public spirit. That's one thing.
두 번째 시종일관하신 정성.
Consistent sincerity and commitment.
세 번째는 청탁 병용하는 포용심을 우리도
And the generosity to embrace all good and bad.
닮아가도록
So
노력.
why don't we resemble this, our
다짐하는.
founding master in this particular three areas?
예, 그래. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다. Now you are invited to participate in the One Buddhist memorial ritual in which we pay respects to the spirit enshrined on the altar. So as you see on the altar, there are how many tablets? Do you see tablets there? Can you count them? 12 of them. 12 of them. So what is the meaning of these tablets? Anybody know? These tablets are symbolic. They represent the collective spirit of our departed loved ones. So as Master Chongsan, who is the second head Dharma master of Won Buddhism, said, the tablets are not vessels containing the actual spirits of ancestors or teachers. Instead, they remind us that those who have gone before us continue to guide, protect, and watch over us wherever they may be. So all are welcome to participate in this sacred offering. First, Venerable Chuksanim, Venerable Myeongtawan님, and all the Won Dharma Center Kyomunims will offer incense and their donations. Afterward, we invite each row to come forward, one line at a time, and within each line, one person will offer incense on behalf of the group. And then the entire line will perform 2 standing bows together with the music. People in the first and second row, please come forward. And David, please offer an incense. And together as a group, we'll make standing bows twice. And I think we can use some music, background music, a little louder, please. You may return to your seat. And the third row, you may come forward. Nancy, would you lit the candle, incense? Fourth line, please come forward. Steve. And people in the fifth line, you may come forward and join this ritual in remembrance of your loved ones. Virginia, would you? Palms together. And sixth and seventh, and people on chairs, you may come forward together. Nobuo, please offer incense. Palms together, one step forward. And let us take just few moments sitting in still, remembering those who have guided us in our lives, directly or indirectly, who have touched our lives so fully, who have shaped our lives so that we could be as we are today. Just hold them in your hearts at this moment. We honor their lives. We are grateful for their presence in our lives in the past. And their legacy continues in our lives. You may open your eyes. How do you feel after participating in this ceremony? I feel a little lighthearted, even though the music was very heavy. It was a good time to remember our own loved ones, not only our teachers, but I have grandma who passed away about 10 years ago, and I think of her whenever we offer this prayer and this ceremony. Now I have announcement to share. So starting this Tuesday, the annual One Buddhist Ministers Retreat will be held over the course of 8 days on our retreat campus. So total of 59 excluding our Kyomunims who are living here, 14 of us. So 59 Kyomunims serving across North and South America will gather right here. And we are happy to host them. And I sincerely thank you in advance to those who will be helping with cleaning and supporting and preparation today after lunch. So we'll have community lunch after this service starting at 11:40. And the One Dharma Center Temple depends on your generous support. Every contribution, large or small, helps sustain our temple and expand our Dharma activities. So thank you to our monthly sustainers for your continued support. And thank you everyone for your generosity practice. So we have about 15 minutes before lunch, and all are invited to join our community lunch. And this is our tradition to have lunch together after this commemoration service. So please stay for lunch. So we have some time, right? Before lunch, 15 minutes. What you're going to do, I don't know. So you can actually stay here and remembering of your loved ones as you did during this service. But before we end, open your booklet, page 9. Let us sing the morning prayer song. Page 9. Dharmakaya Buddha fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha fourfold grace, I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha fourfold grace, I begin a new day with compassion. Today making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world. May the spirit of reverence, remembrance, and awakening continue to guide us in the days ahead. This concludes today's spiritual memorial service. Thank you all.